Hello everyone, welcome to the channel where we convert all your concepts to grades. In this video, we'll be learning how to draw ray diagrams, which is one of the most important and key topic of this chapter. The chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction by itself almost covers around 10 marks with the help of numericals and other theory questions. Out of this, the ray diagrams alone can come for 3 to 5 marks in this chapter. So mastering this will help you not lose those tiny marks. You would have given your essay 1 or practice pre-board papers where you might be wondering where you are losing marks in ray diagrams even though it looks theoretically correct. So to help you with such issues, video we will cover steps to draw ray diagrams and also a checklist at the end of the ray diagram which will help you check if everything is done properly in the ray diagram for you to score full marks. So subscribe to the channel and let's get started with some basic theory. Here we'll be practicing the ray diagrams for a mirror and the lens simultaneously as the process remains same for both. We'll be practicing for the case of where the object is placed beyond C in case of a concave mirror and the object is placed beyond the 2f1 point for a convex lens. So as per theory, for the mirror, the object, if it is placed beyond C, the image should be between C and F and the size of the image should be diminished and the nature of the image should be real and inverted. And for the lens, the image will be between F2 and 2f2 point. It will be diminished and it will be real and inverted. So as you can see here, the object height and the image height, it shows that it is diminished. It is inverted. This is facing up, this is facing down. So it is real and inverted. It is falling between C and F and the object is placed beyond C. So this is how you ensure that the ray diagram is theoretically accurate. So we will try to build the checklist around this and also learn the steps of drawing this accurately such that you never go wrong. Step 1 would be to draw the mirror or the lens and the principal axis. And you should label the mirror or lens, which is one of the most important point. So you will draw the mirror, you will shade the part which is not reflective. In case of a concave mirror, it is on the back side, and in case of a convex mirror, it will be in the front, and you will draw a line perpendicular to the mirror. I cannot emphasize enough, and it is something probably 8th class kids also know, to use a scale and a pencil for ray diagram. If you do not use, that is the first place where you are losing your marks. So for the lens, again, we draw the lens, a convex lens, and label it along with drawing its principal axis. So now step 2 is to mark the focus point, the center of curvature for the mirror and the F1, F2 points for the lens. So in case of the mirror, it is C, it is center of curvature, focal point and the pole. Same way for the lens. Now the next step is one of the most important steps where you will go wrong if you do not get this properly done. Your image will not align properly. That is, you might have your object beyond C, but you might get your image somewhere between C and F, which is not theoretically correct. What we do to avoid this is to ensure that all these points are equidistant from each other. That is, as per the theory, you have learned that radius of curvature is equal to twice the focal length. So what you will be doing? You should ensure that when you place your marking, if you mark your center of curvature at 0, your focus point should be at 5 and your pole should be at 10. So such that all are 5 centimeter apart. So if all are 5 centimeter apart, that is the only way you will ensure that your object and image fall at the right position. Similarly, you will ensure that everything is 5 centimeter apart or any equidistant that aligns with your paper, and ensure that the distance between 0 and F2 is equal to 0 and F1. Similarly, F2 and F2 point should also be equidistant from each other. Ensuring this will give you the right ray diagram. So once you have done that and ensured that they are all equidistant, next step is to draw the object above the principal axis at a given location and you have to label it. Do not forget labeling. So in our case, it will be beyond C in case of the mirror and it will be beyond 2f1 point in case of the lens. So once the object is placed, what you should do is you should draw 2 rays towards the mirror or the lens from the object and label it. So you will draw two rays. So generally we go with one parallel to the principal axis like this one, and one passing through the focus when the object is farther away from C. So as it reaches closer to C and beyond, you can take the third case, which is when the ray passes through the center of curvature. Either of the two you can take. One will always be parallel to the principal axis. This makes the drawing easier. Similarly, in the case of lens, you will take two rays. Again, I have taken one parallel and one passing through the focus. As the object goes closer, you can take the one passing through the optical center as well. Once you have drawn these two rays, the next step is to write the labels on the mirror and lens. Do not forget this. This is where you lose half your marks. And once you have labeled them, the next step is to draw the reflected or refracted rays. Now, how do you draw the reflected or refracted rays? We know that if the incident ray is parallel, the refracted ray will pass through the focus, and if it is passing through the focus, it will be parallel. So similarly, you will draw both these rays, and in the case of lens as well, it will pass through the F2 point and it will be parallel to the F2 point. Once you have drawn these two, you know that where the two reflected or refracted rays meet is where your image will be. Now image will come from the principal axis to that point. So the image will come from the principal axis to the point where the rays meet. So accordingly, I will draw my image, and you should always not forget to label it. So once the object image is drawn, you label it and then you draw the image as well for the lens here, and then you have to label it. Now one thing to remember in labeling where most people lose marks is, if your principal axis point is B, even in the image the principal axis point should be B, but you'll just put a hash on top. Same way here also, it cannot be AB and this cannot be A hash B hash. Then how will you show that the object is or the image is inverted? For it to be inverted, whatever touches the principal axis, the same point should touch the principal axis. So once you have drawn and label it, next thing is to check if you're getting the image where it should be in terms of position, nature and size. So position, object is at beyond C, image is between C and F, correct? Now again here, if the object is beyond 2F point, the image is between 2F2 and F2 point, which is again correct. Second, this one's length is longer, this is smaller, so it is diminished. Again, longer, smaller, so it is diminished. Now again, this one is going upwards, so it is always virtual and erect, and object is virtual and erect, and this one is going downwards, so it is real and inverted. So now once you have checked that this is completed our ray diagram. So the final checklist, once you have drawn all your ray diagrams, which includes like you have to see what all have I missed. If I have missed any labeling and I can write is, first it should align with theory. You cannot have beyond C object and image between F and P. You will lose marks there. So ensure it aligns with theory. The step to align it with theory is to ensure that the C, F, P points are all equidistant. Similarly for the lens as well. Labeling, you should label object, image, the principal axis points like the C, P, F, P, and in this case of lens, all these points. You have to label the mirror and the lens, which is again the most important thing most people forget. And the other one where you lose half marks is the labeling of the rays on the mirror. See, I have lost half mark here. I have not labeled the rays on the lens. So once that is done, the next thing is ensure you have arrows to your rays. They are not lines, they are rays. So rays never end. So you have to always ensure they have arrows. Okay, you cannot miss the arrows. So these are the 3 points you will remember: aligning with theory, labeling of all important points, and arrows to the rays. This is how you will ensure that you will get 100% marks in your ray diagrams. You can practice these steps for all other positions of object, and you can see if you are able to use these steps easily and finish all the ray diagrams. Always remember, practice is what makes ray diagrams much faster and easier in your exam. Practice more so that you can do it faster, and these steps are just a part of your flow. Checklist is just in your head. To complete the theory and numericals of this chapter, you can watch the full video of this chapter from the link in the description, which has a lot of prior year questions of board exams that we have solved as well, and it also teaches you how to write and answer theory questions of this chapter. Which part, how much if you write, you will get how many marks. Like this video if you have understood something, and share it with your friends who are also in their 10th and 12th board exams, who are preparing for their 10th board exam. Comment below on what would you like to watch next, and thank you so much and hope to see you in the next video.